Good evening and welcome to TSSR Game Time Live presented by MDH. We are here at Washington Street Gym. I am John Burton, alongside me, Tegan Perry, bringing you Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling's presentation of Bombers Volleyball as they take on the Cyclones of West Prairie, and all West Prairie sports this season are presented by McDonough Telephone Cooperative. Getting ready to get the JV game underway here. Both teams warming up. About a minute to go till game time. Might start a little bit earlier. Sometimes I like to run that up just a little bit earlier. First volleyball game of the season, Tegan, here. What do you expect to see from this Macomb team?
Well, I'm going to expect a lot of mistakes from both teams very early just to get the rust fit off. This game is most likely going to be a warm-up for what's going to happen on later in the season. But expect some good play from both Macomb and West Prairie, as they're both coming off some really good seasons from last year on both the varsity and JV sides, of course.
Again, TSSR Game Time Live is brought to you by McDonough District Hospital. McDonough District Hospital athletic trainers and the MDH Rehabilitation Center, with locations in Bushnell and Macomb, provide expert help to all area student athletes in the prevention, care, and rehabilitation of all athletic injuries. Learn more at mdh.org. McDonough District Hospital, more than a hospital care, a hospital caring. See West Prairie here finishing up their warm-up, getting ready to come off the court, and we're about ready to get things underway for this JV contest. Again, the Macomb Bombers taking on the visiting Cyclones. If you're in the chat, make sure to leave us a comment down there. Let us know who you are, where you're listening to us from, who you're rooting for, and any other comments you may have. Again, getting ready set here for at least my first volleyball action of the year. I do believe both of these teams have already completed some regular season games. Or maybe game, I should say.
It's a little bit too early for multiple games. After all, we only had one football game for each team this season.
As we're getting ready to get things underway here. We'll see who's going to start with serve. It'll be the Macomb side. Back to serve back there for the Bombers. Is number 6, who is unfortunately not on the roster. Forgot to check that before the game start. We'll get that to you here sooner or later. Here's the serve, handled in the back row by West Prairie. Set towards the middle, hit off the side of her hand. First point of the game goes to the Bombers.
Always like to score first, no matter what. Currently, the only number 6 that we have from Macomb is Katie Benson.
Serve into the back row, handled by Webster, hits it out of bounds, and it'll be 2 points in a row for the Bombers. Can't ask for a better start than this as they look to continue rolling here in set number 1.
Yep, like we said, they're going to make some mistakes early on, but the hope is after a little bit of rust comes off, they'll be able to get back into their motion and their groove.
Serve comes off the net, dump over the top by Madeline Sullivan, falls in for the Cyclones as they answer back with a quick point here.
Nice little fake there, as they were looking like they were going to spike it down, but instead just hopping it over.
And serve for the Cyclones is number 17, Macy Branch. She'll get it teed underway here, hit deep into the back row, handled by the Bombers. Set high to the outside, comes across and hits it out of bounds. Point back to the Cyclones. 2-2 is our score here in set number 1 of this JV contest. Again, Branch back with the serve. Hits it into the back row. Set to the outside, hit down the line. Is it in? It is. Point Bombers.
Nice trajectory, angling the ball right towards the line there.
Yeah, did a great job keeping that one inbounds. Just kept it right on the line, right where nobody could get to it. 3-2 is your score here in favor of the Bombers. Back to serve is number 17, Kansas Holtz.
Yeah, that's a bit of a hard one right there. You don't know if it's going to go out of bounds. You're normally told to play that right there. Just unfortunately wasn't able to get enough under it.
Holtz back to serve here now again for the Bombers as they have the 2-point advantage. Serve deep into the back row. Looked like Abby Starbuck was thinking about letting that one go out of bounds. Stuck her arm out kind of proactively. Tips off her arms. Falls out of bounds on the Cyclone side. And Bombers now on a little bit of a 3-point run. Holtz back to serve once again into the back row. Bumped up by the Cyclones. Hit over. Nice dig in the back row there. Set to the outside for Thorman, who hits it off the blocks and down.
Just unable to bounce that back over to the other side there.
Bombers here now. Another serve handled in the back row by Starbuck. Branch will set it to the outside for, I believe that's Alexa Barkley. It is, and Barkley will pick up the kill.
Nice kill right there, making them get into a uncomfortable position out in the court, trying to bump it over to one of the teammates.
Here's a serve from Barkley now, deep into the Macomb back row. Set towards the middle, kind of misapproached that one there on the spike setup. Couldn't get it. There's Hendricks, who hits it down off the blocks out of bounds. Point to the Cyclones. 6-4 is the score here now as the Cyclones starting to rally back a little bit after going out in a bit of a hole.
It's going to be very back and forth for both these teams today.
Set to the middle, and that'll be a sports corner at 124 kill for the Bombers.
That was a nice aim right there, right into the spot where nobody was there. All four Cyclones were up there at the net.
Coming back to serve here again. Starbuck handles on the back road. Branch sets to the outside. Hit over, handled by the Bombers. Set back over the head. There goes number 30 with a kill attempt. It'll go off the hands of Hendricks, and it'll be another sports corner kill for the Bombers. I believe that was Jordan Hines on the attack there. Bombers doubling up the Cyclones, 8-4 here early on in set number 1. Into the back row again. Set to the middle for Hendricks, who had to go kind of hit it behind her head and hit it out of bounds.
Right idea there, just unable to get the right amount of power to get it towards that edge.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get the positioning off the set there. Another nice serve into the back row. Barkley back there trying to make something out of it, but a nice serve will result in a point for the Bombers, and a timeout will be called by the Cyclones. We'll take a quick break as well. You're listening to TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH.
At Western Illinois University, Leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a Leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Welcome back here to Washington Street Gym as the Bombers have a 10-4 lead over the Cyclones. We'll pay the bills real quick as both teams getting ready to come out of this timeout. With locations in Macomb and Augusta, and with 80 years of car sales experience, Ron Elby Auto Sales is your hometown go-to for your next car in Macomb on East Jackson Street. Stop in and talk to Justin, Jared, or Chris, or visit www.lbsalescars.com to check out their inventory. West Prairie trying to reset coming out of the timeout here as they found themselves in a 6-point hole. Serve goes back to Starbuck. Branch will set towards the back row for Barkley. Back row attack handled by Macomb. Set towards the middle, tip over. Webster's there for it. Branch will just push it back over. Macomb will look to set the offense here. Sets it back to Hines. Hines, left-hand attack. Did it find a home? It did. Sports corner kill for Jordan Hines. That'll be her second of the game, I do believe.
That was a very awkward position right there. Couldn't really tell if that was in or out. I think the ref gave a little bit of the home field advantage on that one.
Set to the outside for Webster, who will push it back the other way. A little bit of a misplay there from Macomb. Comes up, tips it from the back row. Branch will set again. That one's going to be hit out of bounds.
Again, the right idea, just not enough, way too much power on that one.
And the Bombers starting to roll here now on Washington Street Gym. Branch will set back to the outside. Miss hit off the hands of Madison Adams on the Cyclone side. Result in another point for the Bombers, as it is now 13-4. And how quickly things have changed. Cyclone's able to stick with the Bombers here early on, but Bombers now pulling away. A couple missed hits from West Prairie. That'll be Hendricks trying to tip it back over, but can't get it across the net. The Bombers just continue to roll, Tegan.
Yep. But hey, it's also the first match, and anything can happen in a game like volleyball. After a really good rally, they can suddenly turn the tide to the game.
Really nice serve there on the Bombers' side, and that kill will find a home for Kennedy Webster as she's looking to get the Cyclones back on track. 14-5 is the score now. Again, this is set number 1 of the JV game here. We are at Washington Street Gym. Starbuck back to serve for the Cyclones. Hits it over off the hands of Hines, and it'll go out of bounds, point to the Cyclones.
It's hard to deal with a really good server back there.
Starbuck back once again for the Cyclones. That one just barely clears the net, and it'll hit the ground. It'll be an ace for Abby Starbuck.
She's almost like a pitcher out there, being able to aim the ball precisely where she wants it to go, because that's the second time in a row she was able to get it right in the center of those Bombers.
Another hard serve from Starbuck, handled in the back row by the Bombers. Hines hits it over. Barkley's there. Set to the outside for Webster, into the back row. Macomb, nice defense there. Set up high. Libero comes and just tips it over. I believe that's Jordan Shootman, the libero for Macomb. Shootman will pop it up to Hines. Nice hit there off the blocks. Branchell was under it. Barkley comes over, hits it up. Hendricks has to free ball it over. Shootman again, dump from the Bombers. Cyclones are there. Pretty decent volley going on here now as Shootman bumps it back to the outside. Tip over. Webster's there for the Cyclones. Again, both teams just going back and forth here. Kind of mishit there from Webster, but Macomb will be able to play it easy. Back to the outside for Hines, who tips it over. And nice idea there for Macy Branch.
And that's one of those rallies where you want to win after it being so long. It changes the momentum of the game now. Feels like that there's not much you can do now after a good defense like that.
Starbuck continues to roll for the Cyclones in the back row. Hit off the hands of Shootman. Hines was forced to bump it over. Cyclones short set to the middle. Tipped over. Bombers are there. Back to Hines on the outside. Hits it high and deep into the back row. Starbuck plays it. Branch to Webster, who will bump it over. Again, both teams going back and forth here, and that'll result in a point for the Cyclones.
Yeah, just really good offense and defense coming from the Cyclones right now.
Again, after the Cyclones went down in a big hole, I believe it was 14-4 at one point, and that's a good way to get back on track there as the Bombers pick up a sports corner kill.
It's all about the miscues, man. It's all about trying to fool your opponent. They often used to bump it up and spike it down, but that one they just bumped it right over the net.
Back to serve for the Bombers is Ella Hare. Branch sets to the outside for Webster, who kind of just, almost looks like she kind of just threw that over. Points nonetheless. It brings us to 15-10. As Hendricks will check out, Sullivan will check in for the Cyclones.
15-10 right now is on the scoreboard.
Madeline Sullivan back to serve now for the Cyclones. Jump serve comes into the back row, handled by Shootman. Set to the inside, and Dakota Thorman can't quite clear the net with that one. The Cyclones have crawled all the way back in this one, just down 4 points now, 15-11.
That one rally that lasted a long time really shifted the momentum for West Prairie.
Another nice serve by Sullivan, but it doesn't quite catch the back line there.
Commentators curse right there, say that they're doing really well, and then that.
Shootman back to serve now for the Bombers. Hits it hard into the back row for Webster. Sullivan comes all the way across the play. Barkley's able to pass it over. Set to the outside for Hines. Nice attack there, but a little bit hard. Side out back to the Cyclones. Webster back to serve for the Cyclones here now. Again, still down by 4. Serving to the back row. Set up front by Wilson. Nice tip over there. Cyclones able to get it back over. Here comes the attack. Hard into the back row for Webster. Sports corner kill for number 31, Addison Fox on the Bombers side. 17-12 now, as the Bombers inch ever closer to coming away with a win here in set number 1. Here is Hines with the serve. Sullivan pulls it out of the net. Shipman tips it over. Falls off the hands of Shootman, I believe.
Very close and intense battle in this first set right here.
Serve here from the Cyclones. Wilson sets to the middle. Nice kill there. Sports corner kill for number 17, Candace Hotz.
Sometimes it's not about how much power you put in the kill, but the aim you put into it. That one right there seemed a lot more about aim than power.
Yeah, just able to kind of get it up over the blocks. Found a home for it on the soft side right behind the blocks. Serve goes off the net. Sullivan will set to the outside. Here's the attack by Barkley. Kind of just pushed it over. Set back to the outside. Tip over. Nice recovery there from Sullivan. Starbeck sets from the back row to Barkley. Hits it into the back corner. Shootman there to Hines. And Macomb will be forced to just bump it over. Pass goes into the net on the Cyclones side. And that's a mistake here late in this game that you can't have if you're the Cyclones.
Right.
You've done such a good job crawling your way back, making this thing a little bit closer. But mistakes like that late are what's going to kill you.
Still, though, we've seen so far that they're able to capitalize off Macomb's mistakes, so all they have to do is force them to make one.
Cyclones here now. Ball sent over by Sullivan. Tip back over. Starbuck wasn't quite ready for it in the back row, and the Bombers crossed the 20-mark line. And 20-13 is the score.
And like I said, it's not about the aim and the kill. I mean, it's not about the power in the kill. It's about the aim and the kill.
Nice serve there. Goes off the hands of Barkley. Barkley gets set on the outside. Nice kill there for Alexa Barkley. Big response there on the Cyclone side. As Shipman will come out, Branch will come in, Sullivan will come out, Hendricks will come in for the Cyclones. Branch back to serve now. We saw her serve a couple in the row earlier on. Wilson sets to the outside for Haas, who hits it off the block and out of bounds. Sports corner kill for the Bombers.
4 more points until set.
And service error there. Be side out back to the Cyclones.
And this would end, as we've seen so far, West Prairie is normally good to capitalize off Macomb's mistakes. See if they can right now.
Wilson will set to the outside for Thorman, who hits it into the net. Cyclones, if you're going to go on a run here to take this first set, you got to do it now. Deep serve by Barkley. Wilson sets to the outside. Here comes the attack. Nice dig there from Starbuck in the back row. Webster will tap it through. Bombers look to reset the offense. Here again, set to the outside for Thorman, who hits that one out of bounds. Here we go. The Cyclones going on a bit of a run here.
Bounce back team right here.
Have the lead down to just 4 points. Wilson pulls it out of the net, and sports corner kill there in the middle. I believe that was Ella Hare.
I believe that is as well.
Couldn't quite catch the number on that one, but I believe that was her. Good kill there from the Bombers. Now only 3 points away. Branch will set to the outside. Punched through by Adams. Sets it outside for Hines, who kind of hit it up off the blocks. Branch comes up, looking to set it. Bumped over by Adams once again on the Cyclone side. Set over the head to Hines. Hines tips it over. Barkley couldn't get there in time, and it'll be another sports corner kill for the Bombers. And a timeout here on the court. We'll take one as well. Again, you're listening to TSSR Game Time Live's presentation of Bombers Volleyball.
Working at MDH feels special to me because I'm also from a small community like MDH, and I love to be able to care for communities like this and be able to give them high standards of excellence with medical care as possible. You know, some people like to take more of a medical approach to their care. Some people like to take more of a holistic. And I just want to be able to make their plan of care as individualized as possible.
Welcome back here to Washington Street Gym as we are currently in a timeout. We'll pay the bills real quick. Located at 210 South Lafayette Street, Macomb, serving soup, salads, sandwiches, and homemade desserts, and a full-service coffee bar, breakfast served all day, and free Wi-Fi. Visit the Old Dairy, www.olddairymacomb.com. Call 309-837-6700 for your takeout. Back to the game here now. Again, 23-17 is the score. That kill goes off the blocks and out of bounds.
Now you got to get the greatest point in all of sports. One. Sometimes the greatest point can be one.
Service, I think that would have went out of bounds. Webster kind of had second thoughts about it and decided to play it. And that's how set number one will come to an end here in Washington Street Gym. 25-17 is the score as the Bombers take set number one. We'll take a quick intermission here, and we'll be back in just 1 second.
When my parents told me they'd be using Adams Experts, I felt a bit replaced. I mean, they always called me to remove their viruses or get their printer connected to Wi-Fi. He even set up their new Roku.
How do I adopt a new son?
But then he taught me a few things. And now, we're like tech brothers.
Adams Experts. Repair, maintenance, and setup for all your home technology needs.
In a small community like ours, shopping locally can make a big difference. Did you know you can shop locally for your home internet? While you're powering your devices with super fast fiber internet, you also get to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Every dollar you spend on our services goes to making our town a better place to live, work, and play. You're helping us support local education, build a stronger sense of community, and keep money right here in our local economy. Thank you for choosing your local internet provider. We're proud to keep you connected.
I chose the MDH OBGYN group because I've heard wonderful things about Dr. Smith. And upon entering the office, I really got along with everybody and got a warm feeling. The staff is warm and inviting and welcoming. It's a small community, so it's a really nice hospital to have here in the rural area. I continue to choose MDH because of the relationships I have. I really enjoy everybody here.
At Western Illinois University, leathernecks don't just blend in. Our purple stands out. Our students are innovative, creative, and resilient. At WIU, there's limitless potential, with campuses in Macomb, the Quad Cities, and online. Visit wiu.edu/potential to become a leatherneck and get an education that stands out.
Back here as the Bombers have a one-set lead over the Cyclones here in the JV contest. Both teams coming out of their intermission, as are we. Feeling a lot better now. Got a little bit of fluid in my system. Mouth was drying up quite a bit there in the first set. I got to get back in season.
when you're talking so much at this early of a point, I mean, it's bound to happen to everyone.
For sure.
Don't want to get desert mount, especially in a time like here in Illinois, after the weather we've been having.
Sullivan will start the game, or the second set here, with the serve for the Cyclones. Hit to the back row. Shootman's there. Wilson will set to the outside. That one hit through by Fox. Cyclones recover. Barkley from the back row attacks. Bombers able to dig it up. Tap through. Nice hit there. That was Candace Hotz on the kill. Sports corner kill, that is. And just like the first set, Bombers will take the first point here.
Now it's just continuing trying to make sure that you stay serving the ball.
Bombers back to serve here now once again. Starbuck hits it up for Sullivan. Sullivan to Barkley. Barkley hits it off the blocks. Wilson sets to the outside for Hare, who will hit it out of bounds.
A little too much oomph on that one.
Again, if you're watching us here on YouTube, make sure to get into the live chat section. Leave us a little comment. Webster back to serve now. Nice hard serve. Hines sets it up in the back row. Wilson overhead to the outside for Hotz, who hits it into the net, and the Cyclones take their first lead of either set here. Not a very big one, just 1 point, but a lead nonetheless. Looking to build off of it here is Webster. And what do you call that, Tegan? The commentator's curse?
Yep. Yeah.
Webster hits that one out of bounds.
I feel like we need to have a sign whenever we're doing this saying we are not responsible for any amount of cursing.
Sullivan sets to the outside for Adams. Adams gets a block right back down, interfaced by Thorman.
Now,
Bombers back in the advantage here, 3-2.
Now Macomb with the 1 point lead.
Wants back to serve for the Bombers. That serve off Barkley. Barkley hits it back over. A nice cross-court attack there, but dug nicely by Macomb. Here's the hit from Thorman, who hits it into the net.
Don't worry, John. I got you back with that one.
I appreciate it, Tegan. You always seem to have my back, don't you?
Hey, we're cursing this together. Nice.
JC Reynoso back to serve for the Cyclones. That one will be a double hit. I believe that was on Sophie Wilson on the Bombers side. Put the Cyclones in front here, 4-2 in set number 2.
Cyclones getting a nice rally back, as we saw in the first period, that they're very much a second win team.
Another hitting error there for the Bombers.
It's now a 2 point lead for the Cyclones.
5-3 to score. That serve kind of went off the side of Reynoso's hand and out of bounds. Service error for the Cyclones. We bring the ball back into the hands of the Bombers. Nice serve there, handled by Barkley in the back row. Sullivan to Barkley. Barkley punches it through, and that'll find a home. Nice kill there for Alexa Barkley and the Cyclones.
That was a very nice aim right there, getting very close to the white line, being able to maneuver away from the 6 Bombers out there.
Yeah, and just being able to hit it cross court, kind of overhead. It was a nice attack there from Barkley. Branch punches it through for the Cyclones. Shootman bumps set to the outside for Hines, hits it off the block. Nice recovery there by the Cyclones. Branch will hit it through, but that one's going to land out of bounds. Side out back to the Bombers. 6-5 is the score now. Bombers looking to chip into this lead.
Nice effort from the Cyclones. Unfortunately, in that case, it just wasn't enough.
Serve here for Hare, and that'll be an ace for the Bombers. And Ella Hare ties the game up here at 6 apiece. Another nice serve from Hare. Starbuck hits it off the back row. Webster disappears towards the concession stand, and it'll be back-to-back aces for the Bombers as they take the advantage.
If we were playing poker right now, that's a good hand to go all in now. Double aces.
That's a great point. Looking to make it 3 in a row. Set to the outside back for Barkley. Bombers looking to set the offense up here. Hendricks punches it back over. Bombers are ready for it. Bump set to the outside for Hines, who hits it deep into the back row and just a little bit far. It'll land out of bounds.
Unfortunately, the river on that one was 2 2s and a 3.
Tegan, I didn't know you were a poker player.
You know, I dabble a little bit.
Cyclones here. That one's going to land into the net. Branch tried to pull it out.
And just when they thought, there comes the ace again.
Bombers back in the advantage, 8-7. Again, Bombers pulled out to a pretty big lead there in that first set. Cyclones were able to chip into it a little bit. Made the game feel a lot closer than the actual final score was in that first set. 9-7 is now the score. Jordan Shootman again, the libero, back to serve for this Bombers JV squad. The serve from Shootman into the back row. Webster's there. Bumps it. Barkley over. Set from Wilson to the outside. Hines wasn't quite ready for it. He's able to bump it over. Branch back to the outside. Webster with the left hand pushes it through. Wilson sets back to the outside for Fox. Cyclones, nice scramble there. Recovery. Branch hits it off the side of her hand, and Bombers will be the first to double digits here in set number 2.
Hoping to capitalize off the mistakes of the Cyclones right now.
And just as you say the word mistakes, there's a mistake there from Shootman. A little bit long on the serve.
Swear I need to have a sign on me.
Starbuck hits it back. Shootman's there. Wilson to the middle. Pass through by the Bombers. Here's Webster on the outside. Tried to kind of just throw it down the line a little bit. Wasn't trying to put too much on it, but didn't quite get enough of it.
They had 4 hits there anyway. They couldn't have been able to get it over.
Hines back to serve for the Bombers. Branch sets to the middle for Reynoso. And net violation on the Cyclones. I believe point to the Bombers. 12-8, Bombers 4-point lead. Hines back to serve once again. Nice jump serve there. Barkley takes it. Branch kind of bumps it up. Webster, way to stick with it on the Cyclone side, able to get it through. Dump play by Wilson. And that'll be the setter kill by the Bombers. Wilson able to catch the Cyclones napping. Branch sets to the middle. Punch through. Nice recovery there from Fox. Kill goes off the block. Sports corner kill for the Bombers here as they take a lead 14-8. And the Cyclones will take a timeout. Macomb's original local sports bar is the Sports Corner at 124 with a focus on local sports. Catch WIU games and all the area TSSR Game Time live broadcasts at Sports Corner at 124. All while enjoying your favorite cold drink and some of the best food in West Central Illinois. Stop in and say hi at 124 North Randolph Street in Macomb. Face-to-face over the phone or by email. Choose how you do business with Tom Conklin, State Farm Macomb. You can reach them at 309-837-1200 or visit them online at www.macombsf.com. Better yet, stop in and get your quote today at 1221 West Jackson Street in Macomb. Bushnell's only furniture store, M&B Furniture, is a mainstay in the community and offers free delivery within 40 miles. For everything you need to furnish your new home or replenish an old one, stop in and see the fine folks at 481 West Main Street, or find them on Facebook, Instagram, or the web at www.mbfurnitureinc.com. You can also call 309-772-2111.
Well, Mr. Burton, look who just arrived, a member of TSSR down there.
Mr. Greg Phelps down there. Yep, I see him quite often working the library over at Western. as I'm trying to get my studies in, trying to be that academic weapon, as the kids would say.
You are not a student athlete, John. You are just neither.
Just a student. Just a student.
I wouldn't even call you a student.
I definitely wouldn't call myself athletic. Shipman punches that one a little bit hard. Fall out of bounds, 15-9 coming out of the timeout by the Cyclones. Bombers back to serve once again. Here's the serve from the Bombers. That one will hit off the net. Service error. Side out back to the Cyclones as they cross the double-digit threshold. Only down 5 here. And we saw in the last game, the Cyclones have the ability to string points and bunches together. Definitely need to figure out something here. Hines from the back row tips it through. Sullivan passes. Back to Sullivan. She'll hit it through off the blocks in the middle. And Shipman will try to catch the Bombers napping there, but again, just a little bit too hard on that one. 16-10 here.
Just a little bit of unfortunate mistakes going towards Cyclones' way.
Hines in the back row. Tips back to the outside for Thorman, who gets it down and in. And just as we mentioned, the Cyclones needed to go on a run and string some points together. The Bombers doing just that. 2 in a row here for the Bombers. Extends their lead to 7. Deep serve. Starbucks under it. Gets it up front. Barkley, that'll be off the stick, and the stick is always out, my friends. So it'll be 18-10 here now. Again, Bombers.
Never trust a stick in any sport unless it's baseball.
Or hockey.
Right.
Or lacrosse.
Now, lacrosse, that's not really a stick. It's more a racket than a stick.
Are we going to have this debate right now?
I mean, we will if we have to. I mean, in the chat, is a lacrosse a racket or a stick?
18-11 now as the Cyclones get the side out. Tip through. Nice recovery there from Wilson and Hines. Bumped over from Hare. Cyclones set up the offense here. The outside Shipman is able to get that one off the back row.
That one probably would have went out of bounds there. And look at they put the ball out of bounds there.
Yeah, that attack from Shipman, we just saw she hit 2 out of bounds deep in that back row. That one looked like it was going the same way. Played by Macomb, and, that's a mistake here as we close in towards the end of this game. Could pay dividends. Nice tip through there on the Bombers' side. Cyclones weren't quite ready for it. Couple missed hits, and it'll land out of bounds, 19-12.
Sometimes the best play you can make is make your opponent do a bad play.
Serve to the outside. Webster. Sullivan will set up for Barkley. Nice attack there, dug up by Macomb. Wilson will set to the front row for Hare, who just tips it over. Wilson again overhead to Hines. That one down off the blocks and good. Sports corner kill for the Bombers. So they cross the 20-point mark. 8-point lead, 20-12 here in set number 2 as the Bombers are looking to get the sweep here in just 2 sets. And I say that, serve goes out of bounds, side out to the Cyclones.
Some substitutions right now.
Yes, Branch comes in. Hendricks comes in on the Cyclone side. It'll be Branch back to serve. Shootman able to handle it in the back row. Bumped up front for Hines, who just wasn't in a great position for that one. Brings the lead down to just 6.
Macomb kind of struggling right now to get some points back on the board.
Nice short set there from Branch on the attack from Adams, but Macomb able to come up with it. Hines trying to tip it through, can't quite get it down. Hines again back for the attack. Webster's underneath that one. Branch sets to the outside for Barkley, pushes it through off the blocks of Hines. Hare recovers to the outside for Thorman. Cyclones recover. Barkley, a flat foot attack there. Tip through into the back row. Nice recovery by Starbuck, able to get it up. Webster back row attack. Hits it over for Shootman. Wilson will set back to the outside for Thorman.
And like we said, this is one of those long rallies that can change the momentum of the game.
Yeah, you always like to come away with these long rallies like this. And it'll be the Bombers able to score the point there. That ball just kind of just fell right on top of the net. Didn't quite know which way it was going to go, whether it was going to land on the Bomber side, Cyclone side. So Macomb now 4 points away from walking away with this JV contest. Ella Hare back to serve for them, looking to put this game away. Serve from Hare, hits the top of the net, but gets over. Branch short set to the middle for Adams. Macomb's there. Wilson overhead to Hines. Cyclones looking to set something up here. Barkley, nice attack there. Macomb's able to dig it up. Schubin bump set to the front for Hines, who tips it through.
Another long rally here.
And both teams really playing a lot of great defense in this game. It's really just been a lot of like hitting errors like you see there that points have resulted off of. Both teams actually really look defensively sound.
Just mistakes right now are currently are the factor in this game.
Wilson to the middle, tipped through by Thorman. Branch will push it back over onto the Macomb side to the outside. Here's the attack from Fox. Cyclone's able to get it up. Hendricks tips it towards the back corner. Macomb is there. Here's the air, hitting air. Once again, will result in a Cyclone side out.
We saw this last time where the Cyclones attempted to get a rally back in. Maybe this time they are able to succeed in it.
Wilson sets overhead for Hines. Another hitting error there for the Bombers, and I think the Macomb fans maybe starting to get a little bit nervous here. A couple errors in a row.
Yeah, it's no longer the Cyclones beating them. Macomb's beating themselves, and as soon as I say that, the Cyclones hit themselves.
Yeah, big service there, error. Service error there, I should say, by the Cyclones.
Got to do those tongue twisters, man. Work dream.
Schumann looks to serve here. Starbuck handles it. Barkley to Starbuck, who bumps it through. Hines is there on the Macomb side. Wilson sets to the outside for Fox, who hits it off the net. Might have been off the blocks. I thought it looked off the net, but nonetheless, it'll be a Cyclones point. And again, they're just creeping up on the Bombers here, not quite able to close this one out.
And with that ace in the back there serving the ball, it's going to be a little bit hard for Macomb to get back into this.
Back row attack from Hare will go out of bounds, and here come the Cyclones. Only down 3 points now. Macomb will take a timeout, and we'll take one as well. You're listening to Arnold Brothers Heating and Cooling's presentation of Macomb Bombers Volleyball here on TSSR Game Time Live, presented by MDH. We'll be back with you after a quick ad break.
I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and I like the feel of community. I like knowing the people that I take care of and knowing the people around me, providing care for someone that you know is in this community and helping them to get better.
I chose physical therapy because I knew I wanted to be in the healthcare field. I wanted to be able to help patients in some way related to more in depth. We get to know our patients, and that's really what kind of sets us apart.
Back here at Washington Street Gym as the Cyclones trying to mount a comeback here in set number 2. Only down 3 now, 22-19. Starbuck back with the serve on the West Prairie side. Again, Macomb just not quite able to close this one out quite yet. Starbuck's serve will go out of bounds, and you'll have to see that if you're a Macomb fan. Now only 2 points away from coming away with this JV contest. Hines is back to serve for them.
Macomb looking to just finish this up right here.
Jump serve from Hines. Hit off the hands of Barkley to Hendricks, and a little bit of a misplay just basically off the serve there, resulted in a scramble. Cyclones just couldn't quite come up with it. And the Cyclones will take a timeout here now, 1 point away from dropping set number 2. Do you need ice for your upcoming event? Look no further. Midwest Ice has you covered. Midwest Ice is Central Illinois' newest ice delivery service. They deliver ice directly to your event. Call Blaine Wrench at 309-351-8192 for a quote today. This West Prairie game stream is made possible by McDonough Telephone's fiber internet. Buffering means suffering, so kick slow Wi-Fi to the curb and connect your home with MTC's fiber internet to get blazing fast Wi-Fi with speeds up to 1 gig. Sign up online at mtcfiber.net. Macomb looking to put this one away here. Serve goes off the hands of Webster. Hendricks bumps it into the back row for Starbuck. Starbuck bumps it through. Wilson to the outside for Fox. Will this be it? And it will. Sports Corner kill to end the game for the Bombers and Addison Fox as they come away with the JV contest here, 25-17 in set number 1, 25-19 here in set number 2. Again, we'll get things set up here for the JV or for the varsity contest that is going to be following this one, of course. In case this is your first time listening, all you need to do to access the varsity stream is go back to the YouTube channel. It should be a little icon below this video. Go to the YouTube channel and there will be a stream posted, and we'll probably get going live anywhere basically about 3 to 4 minutes before game time starts. We'll get all the lineups and stuff for you. And again, it's the Bombers taking the JV contest here. Again, 25-17 first set, 25-19 second set for John Burton and Tegan Perry. Thanks for joining us for this JV contest, and we hope to see you for the varsity game. This has been TSSR Game Time Live's presentation of Macomb Bombers Volleyball.